Good afternoon, I'm Willie Gillespie. Taking a look right now at our high temperatures expected today, we are not really close to those high temperatures just yet because we do have an approaching warm front that's going to be coming in from the south. That's going to really warm up our southern suburbs. New Lenox getting up to 65, Gary to 65 as well. City going up to 53. Notice right along the lake here, though, there's going to be a bit of a breeze that's going to keep you cooler if you're in Waukegan, Winnetka, down to the city. But out west here, Rockford going up to 62. Look at Clinton going up to 66 there, Ottawa to 65 as well. So we'll be warm. Bit cooler for our northern suburbs because we don't know how far north that warm front's going to make it, and that's really going to impact our severe potential as we get into the later portions of this afternoon and evening. So we did see a quite bit of rain the past 24 hours. There was a huge swath of about 1.5 inches extending from Ditson to Elgin and over to Rockford and then up to Waukegan and Lake County there. Even northern Cook had a portion of that. And you see farther down to the south there, Aurora, New Lenox, Gary, and Chicago only picked up about 0.5 inch. So right now we are sitting at about 50 degrees. We do have some of that rain. We're going to talk about that in just a minute in the area. Humidity at 99% and dew point at 48 degrees. Dew point is really going to be something we're going to have to watch later into the afternoon and evening. Prime atmospheric conditions for severe weather. You want a dew point around 55 to 60 degrees. And a little bit of a reduced visibility at this time due to that rain, and which you can see on radar here is moving through portions of our suburbs, Ottawa to Aurora to Elgin, and then another swath of rain from Rockford to Dubuque. But that's not what's important about this rain. The important portion is that we have this drying area that we're seeing from Dixon farther down to the southwest there to Davenport to Kewaunee. And what's going to happen here is something we call destabilization. It's when the atmosphere gains instability from heating from the sun. So we're expecting some clearing to occur in this area, and that's going to provide a fuel sort of for some thunderstorms to develop as we get into the portions of this evening, and that is a bit concerning. We do have a moderate risk, which is very rare. You can see that is in effect for portions south of our area, Aurora to New Lenox. Here in Lake County, we're under a slight risk with an enhanced risk down to the south, Buffalo Grove under that. And I want to talk about those categories for just a minute now. We have a slight risk here. That's 2 out of 5 on the category. So that is outlining the possibility for some scattered severe weather. But I do think it's a bit higher than that, especially if that warm front sets up near us, and then added tornado risk is not out of the question. And we're going to go over that in a minute as well. An enhanced risk, a level 3, you saw Buffalo Grove there, and portions down to the south. The city of Chicago is under an enhanced risk. That's where we're going to see more persistent, more numerous cells. And then farther down to the south and west, the moderate risk. This is rare. We only get one of these every 2 years in the Chicago metro area. That is where the potential exists for long-lived, long-tracking tornadoes. So we're going to be watching that very closely for a severe weather threat. So as we go into portions of this afternoon, you can see we are going to be warming up. By 3 p.m., we are still under those clouds. Hopefully we can break out into a bit of sunshine, being a bit optimistic there. By about 5 p.m., we're going to start to see those thunderstorms begin to move in. And this is where the severe weather threat begins to really get going. So 9 p.m., we have that outlined in red there for the potential for some tornadoes, some very strong winds, and some large hail, potentially the size of golf balls. We're watching as we get into this evening. So just watching that out on radar right now. We do have that rain in the area. You can see just some light rain. That's going to be moving out, sticking. I think this model is overdoing how long it's going to be sticking around. But no, we are going to have a period where we have some clearing in the area. That's going to provide for that destabilization, more instability before these storms really get going. As we get into the 7 o'clock hour, you can see a lot of the area having some thunderstorms to deal with. 8 to 9 o'clock, they are still continuing. And even into around 10 o'clock, I think it'll be probably 11 o'clock before we begin to finally clear out from that. So I'm going to be posting live updates on Twitter for the rest of the afternoon and evening. We're going to be staying ahead of this severe weather threat as it continues to develop. Still a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen here. A few factors that we're watching that could increase or decrease our severe weather threat. One of those is how far north that warm front gets, because that's really going to make the difference between a severe threat for our northern suburbs and not so much. So we're going to be watching that as we get later into the afternoon. Then we'll have a better idea how to predict where that warm front's really going to set up. But for now, give a follow on Twitter at WG Weather. We'll be posting the latest updates right there. Thank you for watching, and make sure that you have, one second, I'm going to grab it here. Make sure that you have a weather radio, just one like this, or maybe a bigger one. Midland makes weather radios. Make sure you have one of these tonight, because you do have your cell phone. It does do wireless emergency alerts. It's going to make a really loud noise if you get a tornado warning, but you should have another way of getting those alerts. Have your TV on, or because tornado sirens are not meant for indoors, so you're not supposed to hear them indoors. They're more for outdoors. So make sure that you do have a weather radio of some sorts on you tonight, or that TV as well. And just quickly going over, if there is a tornado warning issued, you want to get, if you're in an RV or mobile home or something like that, get out of that. That's the worst place to be. Get it into a secure building, an interior room, on the lowest floor of that building. And if you're in a car, do not stop under an overpass. The winds are going to get funneled under that overpass and make things very dangerous. If you're in a car, pull over. Best thing to do there is to get into a ditch and get into that tornado position. We're going to keep you prepared for the rest of this evening and beyond at WG Weather on Twitter. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe as well.